to look awkwardly into a camera and film myself talking about nothing and building cars. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say with that intro. Yesterday sucked, the day before sucked. Today's not as bad, and that's good. The entire family's home, which is what makes me the happiest. Wifey's doing pretty good. She's in there trying to relax and hang out. She's like me, and getting to sit and not do anything is not necessarily on our to-do list. Always doing something, trying to keep ourselves active. If it's not hiking, it's doing, you know, car stuff with the family, etc., etc. Getting more parts in as usual. I'm gonna make some more progress on this thing today. I'm getting the tape off so I can start laying the cage out most of the way. I'll probably get the brake master cylinder and all that stuff off as well. Realizing I didn't have any assembly lube, I want to run over to O'Reilly's and grab a little thing of assembly lube, and then while I'm there, the white Silverado needs an alternator. So went ahead and busted the alternator off of that thing. Run that thing, camera freaked out for a second, run that thing over, it uses this core, get a new one, and I did get the engine flipped around over here. Got the pan off, did just a quick, you know, look over. I mean, it looks fantastic. Lined the cam dots up to the crank, got more dirt to clean off there obviously, and so we'll grab that assembly lube. We'll get this stock camshaft out. I still have to pull the lifters too, so we'll pull the lifters, get the stock camshaft out, lube up the new cam, throw it in, line it up dot to dot, which gives us I think a 110 or 112 LSA, and yeah, from there we will go ahead and there's just some gross stuff everywhere in this engine, so get it cleaned up some more, get the short block assembled today, and then maybe start to think about where we're gonna do the drains for the oil lines from the turbos. Probably not, because I would rather have the turbos mocked up. In the worst case, I have to jack the engine up, drop the pan back down, and yeah. So yeah, I want to get the short block assembled at least, stop rambling, start doing more work, and let's get this going with cold start of the Envoy. Yeah, cold start of the Envoy. There's nothing better. Let's get this window down. Oh, even though we get to hear these wonderful leaf blowers, than this thing firing up. So you don't go anywhere. Let's do a little pull, shall we? This went out, but no. Oh boy. Okay, let's get back to the house and home. Man, that thing sounds good. I love the Envoy. Sometimes I think about selling it. I was actually thinking about posting it. Stupid hair. For like 15 grand. I mean, that's what I do, is I build stuff and I flip it. It just goes out the door as soon as I have my fun with it and feel like, hey, I could use a little more money to build something else or get some content going. I just, it's gone. But every time I drive that truck, I get back to that feeling of just, it could use some plugs right now even, and it's still just, yeah. So I'll be doing plugs on that. We did get the, this is not what I was expecting. Usually I use, like, what is it? It's the Molly, it's the little red container, you know, the red stuff. This is Lubriplate motor assembly grease. So this is not what you use on your wife, I guess. It also says not for aquatic life, etc. So yeah, don't put that in the bathtub or on your wife or anything like that. That would be bad time. So we'll get a little time lapse of pull off the cam retainer plate, the camshaft, the cam gear, and all that stuff. Get that guy out. Oh, my old JZX clock from the 81. I do have a new camshaft retainer with gasket in here from ICT Billet, so we'll go ahead and throw that back on when we get the big thumpy boy in there. The BTR Stage 3, we're just going to do, like I said, the dot-to-dot lineup, 110 to 112 LSA, and then I'll probably razor blade off some of this front cover stuff, get the front reassembled, and leave it sitting because I need to do the lifters and all that stuff for when I can get lifters. Which means I may go ahead and tape this off for the time being so I can clean up some of the block itself. But we'll more or less have the short block assembled today. Whenever the head gaskets show up, go ahead and probably lightly copper spray them even though they're brand new. Clean all the bolt holes and all that, clean up all this stuff. Then slap those guys back on once motor's assembled. We'll get the tranny on with the new flex plate, SFI certified, of course, and go from there. Motor and tranny in lets me wire the truck, lets me build the turbo kit, lets me do everything I need to do. I don't really feel confident for some reason getting anything together on this guy without the motor and tranny roughly sitting where they need to be. I have a transmission cross member, and I have a transmission mount, and I have a driveline. They fit, I know they fit, so my thought process there is the best thing to do would be get the driveline in, get the transmission and everything sit where it needs to be on the cross member, make sure the driveline and the tranny are happy, and wherever the motor lands, let that land. But then with this TRZ manual rack and pinion kit that we have here, which we'll be doing a video on shortly, the way these mounts and everything are fabbed up, because I took a peek at all this last night, and the way the instructions are laid out, to minimize bump steer, they want you to mount the rack as high up as you can to the whale pan. And the way the cross member, here, we'll actually talk about that up here, the way this steering shaft comes down, I know it's going to be close to this motor mount and all that stuff. Probably not even aiming the camera right. Yeah, so the way this comes down, you can see the steering shaft is, you know, it's mounted there and it's going to come down. I have that motion boot, like I said, to cover that up. I'm going to fix that hole, but the way it comes down I want to make sure is nice, has clearance, so I can get the mounts and all that stuff really good, square, level, everything. I'm just rambling, let's get to work. So, when we get the camera to focus, which it never likes to do, I hate you too, camera, went ahead and got the old cam out. We're going to go like this and, you know, look at our cam bearings. Nothing looks wrong to me. Everything looks great. So, yep, now that we know the cam bearings are fantastic there, and we did the old close your eyes and pray to Jesus, yeah, gonna get the new cam pulled out of the box, get these gloves on, get the Molly lube all up on my hands, and no matter how I try to word this or say this, it just doesn't sound great, but I'm gonna lube my shaft up and insert it right in that tiny hole about there. So don't let your kids hear that one, because that's gonna sound fantastic. Not safe for work, not safe for work. I think I might title the video lubing my shaft, or giving my bottom end the shaft. That's so not good. Oh, I'm supposed to be 31. I'm 13, I swear to God. It's just, so yeah, I'm going to get this on that, and then get that in over here, and I don't know, yeah, we'll talk about some other stuff, and maybe dig into looking at some of this manual rack stuff. And then we also have the manual brake stuff down there, so we'll do something after this. I'm just, yeah, things are looking up for once, and a little cheerier mood after the hospital stuff the other day, so I'm just gonna vibe and get this cam installed and have some fun, guys. And there we have it. That would be one beautiful little 1,000 horsepower short block. I mean, it's gonna make 1,000, probably not. You know, it's Gen 3 bottom end. If it made 1,000, I'd crap myself. Those rods are not gonna make 1,000. We'll keep that on the down low. I made a fantastic mess cleaning up the oil pan, so I'm gonna clean all that junk up. GoPro died somewhere in the middle, so I'm not quite sure where all that went through, but I mean, yeah, got the new seal on, new gasket. I did line up the oil pan and the timing cover, and then loosely just snugged it all up to make sure I seated this gasket. I put RTV on the block side, so in case I need to pull this back off to weld -10s to the fitting for the drains, which I probably won't do. I'll probably run it to the oil pan. And then I did clean up the pan a little bit too, but I'm just making a giant mess everywhere now, so I'm gonna get to do a little bit of cleaning and stuff, get my mess sorted, and all this. Wire wheel and brake clean are the savior. They're kicking butt today. Go ahead and set you guys up in a nice little view while I de-tape the windshield to this guy, and then probably in the video there, do a video tomorrow for the motion stuff, but just a nice casual musical ending to musical. Sometimes I swear. Get this all peeled off and get a look at how it sits currently. That looks good. I don't care what anybody says. Check that out. The little S10 that could, you guys. I'm stoked on this. Get this mess cleaned up, mess around with a little more stuff off camera, probably have dinner, and yeah, leave you guys there. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, you know, subscribe if you haven't already. And then I'm gonna continue doing some stuff, and see you guys for tomorrow's video. Get some more major stuff done, and yeah. Hellojojoe builds out.